It is in fact my water that did break.
Purpose in your pain.
Good morning, guys. So it is 7 a.m. now. I've had no signs of labor up until this point. Nothing. I haven't even had any contractions. They've just been really strong Braxton Hicks. And then right after kind of that storm was starting to die down, I guess the thunder was dying down, I noticed I was getting a mild contraction. I ended up getting 7. And so I went to the bathroom, came back, laid down, and I felt like a teeny tiny sort of like, I don't want to say like gush, because it definitely wasn't like full gush, if you know what I mean. Oh my gosh, I think that's my water, because with my firstborn son, that's exactly what happened. This time I really don't know. I kind of am up in the air. I did call the midwife on call just to let her know she's going to have me, what they usually have you do is you wear a pad. That way you can actually like see how much is there, and you can see if it's like tinged with anything. So we're just gonna monitor like how much fluid is actually coming out over the next hour. So it's definitely not full blown like labor, but it's definitely signs that something is progressing, especially if my water broke. So I guess I'm technically 39 and 3. Oh, funny side note, I've actually gone into labor, and if I go into labor today, all of my pregnancies, I will have gone into labor after having walked around a mall or the outlets to get labor going. So with my firstborn son, we went to the outlet, and that day my water broke. And yesterday we went to the outlets, and my water may have broken today. If you are planning to have a natural labor, I feel like preparing mentally is really, really important. Not just necessarily preparing yourself for the pain, but for like walking yourself through like, this is gonna be hard. It's gonna be a lot of work. It's going to be painful work, but the outcome is that you get a baby at the end, and it's such a great reward, and that's what I'm working towards. I'm reminding myself that the more pain that I have and the more that I become comfortable, the closer I am to meeting that goal and the closer I am to holding that baby. And if you go into it, I feel like with that mindset, it really helps you to embrace the idea of laboring naturally. Because when you go into a labor expecting there to be no pain and then there is, it really throws you off because your mental expectations have not been met. I've met a lot of people who've talked about how they went into their labors expecting for the epidural to work and expecting to get it right away and expecting not to be in pain. And they were so traumatized because it wasn't what they had mentally prepared themselves for. And I feel like if you're able to go into it kind of prepping yourself for realistic expectations and for the pain, you can really help yourself to mentally like relax and accept it instead of fighting your body. A big piece of laboring naturally is basically letting go and giving into your body and letting your body do its work. So after talking with the midwife and going back and forth a few times, we thought everything had kind of subsided with it possibly being my water. And so we were just gonna kind of wait and see if contractions progressed, just because it wasn't looking like anything was really coming. But now I'm starting to have second thoughts that it is in fact my water that did break. So in order to just be safe and make sure, we're gonna go ahead and drive up there, and they have a way to like test and see if it is in fact my water that broke. Because it's a birthing center, it does work a little bit differently, and they do give you more time than most hospitals do, but that is with you being monitored, as well as I have to be group B negative, which I am, thankfully. So I think the most they allow you is 72 hours, which I know for some people is probably shocking. Yes, there is an increased risk for infection. So they will, like I said, it's a kind of like a case by case, but like that's their limit. Like you can't go over that. But we're gonna work hard to get contractions going and get labor moving if it is.
Hey, what are you doing?
What are these called? Pelvic tilts? Pelvic rocks?
Tell us about your day.
I will. Ugh. I'm currently trying to do some pelvic tilts and every exercise I can think of to get little boy in a good position and get him moving. So, updates. We went ahead and called my parents, and they came and got the boys just that way. That way we were free and we didn't have to worry about them or getting back at a certain time, especially if things progressed, which unfortunately they haven't. But they're at my parents' house. We went ahead and went up to the birthing center, And while we were there, they did a amniotic fluid test. It's crazy. It literally looks like a pregnancy test. And sure enough, it was positive, which is what I was thinking. I was right, unfortunately. It was my water that I felt kind of gushing throughout the morning. Biggest issue is that I haven't had very many contractions. I've had one since like 6:30 a.m., 6 a.m.-ish. So at this point, we're just really hoping that contractions start tonight. We really need them to start tomorrow morning. So if they haven't, we get to put together this lovely
Castor oil cocktail.
Castor oil cocktail. The goal is more pain. So anything else you want to add? We will update when there's an update. So it is the 10th and it is about 9 a.m. So basically it has been more than 24 hours and I've not had a contraction. We have walked miles and miles, but still my body is just, I guess, being super stubborn, and this little boy is just happy as can be in there. So we are still trying to walk, get him moving, get me moving, just so we can progress things. It was really important to me that for this specific birth vlog, I kept it very real and very raw. Definitely feeling a good bit of discouragement, and I think that's because my water did break first, which basically means I am now put on a clock. Obviously, we want to do what's best for me and the baby and keep him safe. You have like this amount of pressure on you to try and get labor going when your body doesn't want to. So I'm trying to stay positive, definitely not feeling very positive. Last night was pretty rough. I was having a lot of just anxiety and worry about this particular birth and being transferred and what that would be like to be at the hospital versus a birthing center. It's just completely different in terms of the atmosphere and the feelings and just certain things that you get to have at a birthing center that you don't get to do at a hospital. Those are certain things that are really important to me. So I think it's just kind of like a fear of maybe not getting to have those things. That's probably my biggest concern with being transferred to a hospital. In the next couple hours, we will head up to the birthing center. I will take this lovely cocktail and hopefully we will start to see some progression. Ideally, we would see a baby today, so on the 10th. So that's kind of what we're hoping for. So I will update you guys soon. Hooked up to this lovely thing. Baby boy sounds good. Well, it worked. So I didn't get an update earlier, but we made a lovely cocktail. And they said they've had a lot of success, and honestly, was not that bad. The only problem is it made me so nauseous that now thinking about it makes me feel nauseous. It worked. So they were gracious enough to let us kind of come and go and use the bathroom as I need. And so we're gonna walk and see if we can get things progressing, but I feel so much better now. Oh my goodness, heads up, if you ever take like castor oil, first of all, yes, like it kind of tears up your stomach, but I felt so nauseous taking that whole drink. So nauseous. So just heads up, but that is the update. We're trying the bouncing ball right now in their nice little foyer area. We've walked around, we did a bunch of curb walking, just part of the mile circuit. Trying to keep contractions coming. They were coming a good bit outside when I was walking, like they were really coming. Hopefully they get worse.
Purpose in your pain.
Purpose in the pain. Definitely brings on like a contraction if you do that. An update. So, got in the room. We're literally here 2 minutes. Trying to do the mile circuit, trying to talk fast because I'm protected from it. And I had my butt up in the air and I felt a pop, which I've never felt before, like down low. It was definitely my water breaking. This is kind of going fast.
Okay.
It is, but I'm worried I'm not going to get in the pool in time. When I was having that contraction, I was feeling pressure in my tailbone and my butt.
That's tonight.
And my legs. I'm struggling a little bit in my back.
You're about 4, so still not too much yet, but definitely changed from before. Still got a little time, but I bet you it's not going to be long.
Yeah, it's like boring. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm peeing myself.
Yeah. Not the most comfortable thing on the planet.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
You jump
Yeah, that's
one,
true. So I can probably get in hopefully.
Yeah.
In another 40 minutes or so.
Okay.
Okay? You're doing amazing.
Thinking about heading towards the tub. She's becoming a lot more intense and closer together.
A bunch right in a row.
Whenever it hits, it's like.
Are you feeling pressure, like pushy?
Yeah. Well, I'm feeling like that poop sensation.
Yeah.
My legs were starting to feel a little shaky.
How are they feeling now? The baby's coming.
Yeah. Here.
You got this. You're doing amazing.
Yeah, but I feel.
Yeah, feel pushy.
Yeah.
You can push if you feel
She talked to you about when
No,
she starts to
you
push,
want-
she does.
Okay.
Yeah, and she wants you to kind of help her guide her pushes.
Okay.
To prevent tearing,
She
and
didn't,
then
yeah.
she didn't tear last time at all, and it was just
Ooh,
the
yeah,
support
very-
and kind
yeah.
of the coaching
Yeah.
when to push.
Perfect. Water's always helpful with that too,
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
just
Just
doing
wanted to
this
double
one.
check at the last
It's
second.
fine. No, thanks. I appreciate it.
What are they?
4 and 2. Actually. I feel like I'm yodeling.
Oh no.
It's kind of
Whatever
nice.
works, girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just take a big deep breath and bear down. Let's get this out so you're more comfy. Here it comes.
So much better.
Yeah, hard not to move.
It's always a relief.
Okay, we're just gonna check for tears. Doesn't look like anything, but we're just gonna check, okay?
Yeah, no, you're good.
You're just gonna feel my touch. And then just scratchy. Nada, nada, not one single scratch.
Wow.
It looks like you didn't even
That's my
baby.
second time that I've not born. Oh my goodness, I'm
amazing.
so happy. Thank you. That's,
Oh my God.
you helped me so much.
8 pounds, 3 ounces. Probably a little extra 1/4 of an inch there because of your hair. Probably a warm blanket. Look at that little hairy back.
Gosh, she's so
Look
thick.
at that.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping with Dad, but I bet if I talk too much, he's gonna start eyeing me. Oh. So I just finished showering. I feel really good. I feel tired, but like I feel overall really, really good. Shocked. Second birth that I did not tear at all. My firstborn, I had one tiny 1-stitch tear, and I really think some of the key factors to that are being in the tub. I did very small pushes and listened to them. And when you're burning, it means it's a good thing you're not tearing, you're stretching. That, along with the midwives obviously offering lots of perineum support, which they were awesome. You did great. He did really, really good. He did amazing with all of the back massaging during contractions, because contractions were pretty intense pretty quickly. It was rather fast.
She's a champ. She endured and persevered today. Didn't get too discouraged. She stayed positive.
Look at his sweet little face. So it looks like he's a little old man. The old man baby. So we are about to leave. It is 11:34 and we are gonna start packing up. We're actually gonna head home. So he was born at 8:13 and so now we get to go 8, 9, 10, 11, about 3 hours later. They say 2 to 4 hours, but there's a lot of things they make you do before you're allowed to leave. You have to eat something with protein. You have to obviously be like recovering well and baby's doing well. You have to shower. So there's like a lot of things that they make you do just to make sure that you're healthy and you're doing well, and they are monitoring your vitals a few times. Babies as well, and they're in and out. They actually probably would normally be in here a little bit more, except for they had 6 babies born today/tonight. So they have been incredibly busy. Was talking with one of the, I think she's a midwife, she may be a nurse. She's had 6 kids. Told her like how good I felt, and I was like, oh yeah, for most of my babies, like I don't even take really Tylenol or Motrin past the first like evening. That's the little music thing. And she said the same thing for her, that whenever she had a natural birth, she just found that the recovery was so different. So for anybody who's scared about a natural birth, like it's hard, and there's points where it's a little scary. How you feel afterwards, you just feel so great, and there's just like this huge relief and release too. And there's just something that's extra special about it. I can't even begin to explain it. I'm honestly so relieved just with how everything went, because I was so discouraged for a while. But they were great. They were an amazing team, and I was very well looked after. I felt very cared for. Felt like baby was monitored well. So now we get to take this little boy home.